Hi everyone, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a lowdown on my thoughts about the new GDPR regulations that are due to come in towards the end of this month. I had a really good meeting. To be honest, I've been to several meetings about it, but my meeting earlier this week with Terabyte IT Limited was really useful because I actually managed to ask some questions about how GDPR is actually going to affect me and what I need to put in place to make sure that I'm compliant, as opposed to just a blanket workshop or whatever delivered by somebody who's very informative but doesn't necessarily give me the answers that I need and what I'm actually after. So I thought what I'd do is just share with you my thoughts. Hopefully some of it will be useful for you, and I can also give you some further information in the comments below if you want it. So obviously GDPR is something that every business is going to have to acknowledge and do something about. It's not something that can be avoided. It's not one of those where you can stick your head in the sand and it's all going to go away. It really is going to happen, and businesses are going to get fined for not complying with the regulations, and also obviously if you get a breach of confidentiality or a breach of security on your data. But is it really as scary as perhaps people are making out? Well, in some ways, yes, because like I say, people are going to get fined. But equally, it's not something that we can't manage, to be honest. Everyone really rejects change. Change makes things really difficult. But having said that, actually, this is going to be really useful for everybody because it means that our data is protected, so we're protected a bit more. So actually, for every business, they should be doing that anyway, in theory, so you don't get spammed, your data's not sold to elsewhere, all that kind of stuff. So it's really important. And I think maybe it's not as scary as people are making out if you're putting those plans in place to make sure that you're going to be compliant and working towards those regulations. So, like I said, I had a meeting with Terabyte IT Limited, who are based in the Northeast. Really useful because I got to go through a massive questionnaire and basically see what questions were relevant to me, how I needed to answer them, and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is just give you a few things of what I took away from the meeting and what I'll be putting in place as well. So first of all is having some processes and documents to prove that you're actually making some changes and putting some plans in place. So have your privacy and cookie policies updated, have a security policy introduced, of which there are generic ones that you can download and tailor to your own business. And I think it's really useful is to have a trackable system to show where the data is actually filed and who can access it. So you can have that recorded just on an Excel document just to show where your data is kept, who's got access to it, how it's protected, so whether it's password encrypted or whatever, but just those useful ways, just to have, again, a proven track record of what you've done and what plans are in place there. So make sure everyone everyone you work with actually has those details as well. They know what the process is, they know about the passwords, they know it's changed on a regular basis. Equally, check how you actually encrypt or protect your data. So it might be the hardware that you use, like your PC or your laptop or your phone. How is that encrypted? Is it secure enough? Could someone else pick it up? Perhaps your phone, if you left your phone in a cafe, could someone access the data that's on there? Because that would be a data breach by all accounts. So it's making sure those protection systems are in there as well. And again, that you've got those recorded, that you can actually say where they are and who has access. Also consider whether you're a data controller or a data processor. So a data controller is basically the person who, as it would seem, is in control of the data. So they're the one who has the data and hold the data for reference or for record. Whereas a data processor uses the data held by the controller for whatever purposes. So you need to establish that, because ultimately, if you are a data controller in any format, then you will be responsible if there's a data breach. The data processor doesn't have so much responsibility, but again, there is a responsibility there. But if you're the controller, you are the one who is meant to be protecting that data, and that's what's really important. So you also need to check your firewalls and your gateway security. So if you work from home like I do, check your routers, make sure those passwords aren't the ones you were given. Check your firewalls are up to date and secure as well. Check any of your cloud suppliers or your website backup. If you take data on your website, anything like that, they're actually, all the firewalls, walls and gateways are secure on there as well. The other thing, which is probably the most common thing that people have done already, is the opt-in on your email. So making sure that people have actually opted in to receive the communications they're sending out. If you haven't done that already, you really need to do that, because you won't be able to, well, it'll be illegal for you to send out marketing information or communications without that opt-in proof. So you actually have to have proof that someone's opted in, i.e. a response back from them saying, yes, I would like to receive your information or your data. Once you've got that, obviously, you don't have to contact them again. I was under the impression from someone else I'd spoken to quite some time ago that perhaps you needed to contact them every quarter, every 6 months. Apparently that's not the case. Once you've got their opt-in, that's fine, providing you still leave them an option to opt out at any point if they want to. Okay, what else is there? So, a bit random, I thought, given I work on my own, but set up a board meeting. So basically, I would have a board meeting with myself, because I'm the only person in my management of my business, particularly. So set up a board meeting every month or every quarter to go through every element of the process you've put in for GDPR, because then you can see what process you've improved on, what else you've put in place, how the changes have come about, and you can document it all. So again, you've got, if you're ever asked about how you protect your data and what you use and what systems you have in place, you've got a document there that you can, and a trail that you can show to somebody and say, this is what I've been doing, this is the process I've gone through, and therefore I'm proving that I'm making the efforts and the security requirements to meet the protocol requested by the GDPR regulations. My last note really actually is just not to panic. There is loads and loads of help and support out there from loads and loads of people. Lots of free help as well, so you don't have to pay for anything. I was really lucky with the information that Terabyte Limited, IT Limited gave to me. It's been really ultra useful for me, and I'm very happy to share those contact details with you if you would like to. Just comment below this post and I can send you some contact details for them, or you could just find them obviously on Google if you'd like to. It's Terabyte IT Limited. But equally, I can also send you out the PDF of the questionnaire that they not made me, but suggested that I actually went through myself. So it's quite a long document full of very awkward questions and very easy questions, but it was really useful for me to understand exactly now what I need to put in place to make sure that I'm compliant when the regulations come in, like I say, towards the end of this month. So again, if you'd like a copy of the PDF, if you comment or contact me, then I can send you a copy of that as well, which I think for most businesses would be really useful. And this is just not just for people like myself who run their own business, but it's for anyone who is within a small business, anyone in a larger organisation as well. You know, everyone has to take some responsibility. It can't be left just to like one person. It needs to be, everyone has a little bit of responsibility, and therefore it's going to make it loads easier. And that was pretty much it. Basically, I suppose the final point for me to make is please don't put your head in the sand about this. It is going to be something that comes in. It is going to catch people out if you're not securing your data properly and you have the ability for someone to steal the data or accidentally lose the data or whatever it is. It is going to be something that's brought in, like I say, and it's going to be serious. So don't panic about it, but equally just take it sensibly and make some progress, make some plans, make some policies that you know that you can improve on, but it's certainly, and document so you can show there's some progress there. So that was it really. So those are my thoughts about GDPR. It's not something to be frightened of, but equally it's something to take seriously, and there are lots of easy ways for businesses to put plans in place to become compliant to the GDPR regulations and ensure that you're running your business as well as you can do and protecting your clients, which is also equally important. So like I say, any questions, please place them below. If you want any more information, you know where I am, pick up the phone, or you can find my details, contact details on my website, which is www.jolongconsulting.com. And I will no doubt speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.